Hello VC, Michael Clash City Rocker with a video this time on what are my least valuable records according to Discogs. So the genesis of this video is that I've watched a number of videos, many over the years on the VC, where everyone has presented their most valuable, most expensive records according to Discogs, and they go through, they show their Discog pages with the value, and I've seen 4-figure, 5-figure records, and not just one or two, but like dozens of them, and that's great, that's amazing, but not all of us have those kinds of collections, or never even intended to. So today, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to show you my least valuable records according to Discogs. But before I do, I want to thank the people who have commented so far on my videos. The whole purpose behind my making these videos is to connect to the VC, to other content creators, other collectors, start a dialogue. Thanks to those of you who have subscribed, like my videos. Again, I really appreciate the comments. So here, again, I have a background, kind of academic background data, so that's kind of the way I roll. And yes, I can present this so you can see it on screen, but I like old school paper. So last year, I finally got around to importing my collection into Discogs, and it was fairly interesting. I don't know how exact. I found out about 10% of the records I bought on Discogs have been incorrectly presented, listed, probably more. But anyways, you can organize your collection by pages, and I think that you can do the pages by like 25, 100, or 250 records. And so I have, according to Discogs, about 188 records in the $1 to $4 range. And then I have a whole entire page of $4 to $5 records, another whole page of $5 to $7 records, a page after that of $7 to $8 records, and then a whole nother page of 8 to 10, and it keeps going, 10 to 12, 12 to 15, 15 to 18, 18 to 20. Basically, I have hundreds of dollar bin records. So I have 0 4-figure records, but I have probably, I mean, I can do this count, probably a couple thousand so-called dollar bin, worthless, not valuable records. Now, that could be a really interesting collection. Now, a little bit thinking about how I originally started to purchase the records. Some of them I had from my youth. Other times I just would go to rummage sales and antique stores, or I would go into record stores. And my thinking was I'd rather walk out with $20 records for 100 than buy one for 100. Now, things have changed a little bit. So, first of all, top 10 least valuable records according to Discogs. Coming in at number 1, least valuable record I have at $1.27. The Best of the Big Band Singers, Columbia Music Treasury, recorded in dynamic dimension sound. Now, I love big band music, but I'm not going to buy hundreds of big band records. I don't know enough about it. So here you have Harry James, Les Brown, Claude Thornhill, Hal Kemp, Orrin Tucker, Benny Goodman, Joe Buskin, Gene Krupa, and the great vocal hits from the 40s. Okay, the next least valuable one, I've shown this one before, the Great American Singing Cowboys, great compilation, Republic Records. You got Rex Allen, Gene Autry, Eddie Dean, Tex Ritter, Roy Rogers, and Jimmy Wakely, the man behind me. I never do show that album. There's Jimmy Wakely. All right, so that's number 2. Number 3, least valuable record I own, coming in at a whopping, $1.39. There you go, Beetleheads. John Lennon, Just Like Starting Over, and apparently I paid $2.95 for it, so I got ripped off, apparently. By the way, when this came out in September 1980 and I heard this, I was severely disappointed. I did not fully grasp what Mr. Lennon was doing. I thought this sounded really kind of middle of the road, kind of easy listening music. Of course, the tragic events of a couple months later. But there you go. Okay, number 4 least valuable record is this one. Rita Coolidge. Amazing Rita Coolidge. Chris Christopherson. Joe Cocker World. How much did this one, according, not valuable, according to Discogs? This is $1.50. There you go. Rita Coolidge. Next one, just pick this one up, actually. Berlin Husky, sealed in the shrink. Yeah, it's got the punch out. Wings of a Dove, you probably know. True True Lovin', one of the great honky tonk singers. There you go, $1.50. And then this one, Sons of the Pioneers, more cowboy music. What's the anti-cowboy bias in the VC? We need to talk about that. Cool Water, San Antonio Rose, Tumbling Tumbleweeds, Riders in the Sky. You know these songs. You know you have to have them. But there you go. Whopping $1.52. Another one in the top 10 least valuable records I own, Charlie Pride. This country music series. Again, I'm going to do a video on this. There were, what, 20 of these? My dad had all of them. Somehow or another, I've slowly but surely started to accumulate some of them. Look at this great painting. What could be cooler than that? She's just an old love turned memory. Vocal accompaniment by the Jordanaires, by the way. Awesome. And then, in the top 10 least valuable records I own, another John Lennon one from that same time. Are we making a political statement here? I guess we're not going to get any deluxe starting over box sets. This one comes in at $1.69. And then 2 more to do the top 10. Bill Haley's Greatest Hits. Now, obviously, this didn't come out in the 50s. Nobody dressed like this in the 50s. Still a great cover. But you got Rock Around the Clock. You got Choo Choo Chaboogie, Razzle Dazzle, Shake, Rattle, and Roll, Skinny Mini. Come on. Top 10 least valuable. And then this one, which is pretty interesting. I just heard Mazzy talking about this one. And it's got this brilliant textured sleeve on it. The one Linda Ronstadt album everybody needs. You're No Good, Silver Threads and Golden Needles, Desperado, Love is a Rose, That'll Be the Day, Long, Long Time, Different Drum, When Will I Be Loved. You know this record. Great record. And how much? $1.91. And I get value in how things are valued. And I'd like to push back at it a little bit. I don't think we buy records just because we're hoping they're investments. Although these days, what is an investment? Not going to go there. And then number 10, Tony Basil, Mickey, love it or hate it. It was an actual entire album. Iconic 1980s, 1981, 1982 video. You can't forget it. Listen to the lyrics sometime if you want to get into great subversion. And then I just picked a couple more in that kind of $2 range. John Williams and Friends. I'm going to do a video on guitar players. He's a brilliant classical guitarist. This is a record he did with other musicians with marimbas and bass and guitar, kind of like a little band. But on here is Jesu, Joy of Man's Desire, and Bourrée, which almost every fingerstyle guitar player, including me, has learned how to play poorly over the years. It's on there. And then poor Tammy, man. Tammy Wynette's Greatest Hits, $2. Volume 2. Look at that hair. I'm sure she would prefer a different look. But Good Lovin', Run Woman Run. We Can Sure Love. I love Tammy Wynette. I don't care what she's singing. It's great. Some more of my least valuable records. This is Emmylou. You're starting to see a pattern here, an anti-country pattern. Why nobody has this, would not want this in your collection? First of all, you could take this, put it on the wall. Actually, I probably should do that instead of the Jimmy Wakely one. One of These Days, Sweet Dreams to Daddy, C'est La Vie, Making Believe. This is just, again, there's an anti-country bias, I think, in the Discogs Valuing Committee. And then another one, $2 record, Best of Wanda Jackson. This one's in the shrink. Right or Wrong, In the Middle of the Heartache, If I Cried Every Time You Hurt Me. Such a great record, such a great cover. And then this one, which I remember when this first came out in 1980? 81. I was a huge Who fan, so I picked it up. And that classical guitar player I just mentioned a little while ago, John Williams, he's on this. He's on this, doing Berea again, but he does Won't Get Fooled again with Pete Townsend. And then Tom Robinson, Glad to Be Gay. That was such a subversive song during the time. And I grew up in an industrial, post-industrial, Midwestern, Northwest side town. Walking around singing Glad to Be Gay was a good way to spark conversations with people you didn't want to have conversations with. So not that I'd stop me from doing it. Okay, Best of Rod Stewart. Anti-Rod bias, 2-record set on Mercury when Rod was at his peak. Maggie May, Cut Across Shorty, Old Raincoat Won't Never Let You Down, Handbags and Glad Rags, Street Fighting Man, Gasoline Alley, Every Picture Makes a Story. What made Milwaukee famous, hopefully, is these VC videos. But can you believe it? It's another one. How much is this one going for? This one, maybe a little more than $2. Yep, $2.25. We're up to $2.25. According to Discogs, amazing median value, which we all subscribe to. A French copy of Heart of Glass. Come on. And this one is $2.36. And then, I guess nobody loves the Townsend solo albums. This one is, where are we at for this one? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Another in the $2 range. And then just a few more. Buck Owens, Best of, In the Shrink. Another $2 record. Love's Gonna Live Here Fooling Around. Excuse Me, I Think I Have a Heartache. I Can't Stop My Loving You. I mean, this is such a great record. Beautiful capital inner sleeve. And then my favorite part, that beautiful black capital Starline vinyl. And then Cher's 5th decade. There you go. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee, The Best of Sonny and Cher. Another $2 record. Beat Goes On. Got You Babe. Little Man. Pun intended. Neil Diamond, Double Gold. So there's a lot of best ofs, lots of country, lots of best ofs in the least valuable records in my collection. But again, I'm a believer. Monday Money, Red Wine, Solitary Man, Cherry Baby. I mean, I would pay $20 just to have Solitary Man. But Fifth Dimension, just so you know, it's not all anti-country and all anti-female artists. Aquarius, Lets the Sun Shine In, Laura Nyrogan, Stone Soul Picnic, and classic Willie, Funny How Time Slips Away, Hello Walls, Crazy, Nightlife. Come on. Forget about this era, Willie. And then Roger Miller, King of the Road. Used to sing that over and over again. I guess if REM puts it on Dead Letter Office, it's cool. And then finally, I just picked this one up. So beautiful. This is like pristine, beautiful capital sleeves. Beautiful mono capital rainbow. This record shines. It is in such great shape. And it is a perfect compilation of mid-60s capital country honky-tonk. Hank Thompson, Ferlin Husky, Gene Shepard, Freddie Hart, Farron Young, Tex Ritter, Louvin Brothers, Wanda Jackson, Tommy Collins, Win Stewart, Treats McDonald. So, again, I guess I have nothing but records that aren't worth anything. They're not valuable. Good thing I like them. Good thing I like to listen to them. So, record collection should be more than just how much they're worth. They should be how much the music means to you. and that's why I collect. Michael Flaherty, Clash City Rocker. Cheers.